to another video. It's been a long time since we've done any homemade dinner cooking. I hope you guys enjoyed the video earlier, and this is just a little squirrel cooking. If you guys have never ate squirrel before, I highly recommend you guys give it a shot. But you cannot just buy squirrel at your local grocery. You have to go hunt them. My dad was in California for a family vacation, and he brought back some squirrels. So he brought back 2 squirrels for me, and this is actually my first time cooking squirrel by myself, because usually it's my dad that usually cooks it, and we always go over to his place and eats it. But this time he just gave me 2 squirrel and let me cook it for myself. I did went online, did a little bit of research on how to do it. I remember I know how to do it, like just the basic ingredients, but for what you guys saw was a very basic ingredients. You can remove things out that you don't like the bamboo. If it's too spicy, stuff like that, you can remove anything out. So we're gonna go ahead and dig in, and hopefully you guys can enjoy this show, this video. If you guys got any question, let us know. I didn't talk earlier because there was just too much baby noise. My TV was on for my son and stuff. My wife, she's on the phone right now, but she might join me here shortly. Let's go ahead and eat lunch. Very simple. We have some homemade papaya, rice, and our delicious squirrel stew. I call it squirrel soup. It's a very delicious dish. Everything's nice and hot right now. Fresh cooked rice and the squirrel. We did let the soup here cool down for about 15 minutes. I went to the store real quick. This is the bamboo right here. I love this bamboo blossom. Oh, it's so hot. Super delicious. The bamboo blossom is like a must for the dish, because it's nice to eat the squirrel meat, drink the stew liquid, and then eat the veggies, which is the bamboo. Very delicious. So the meat is very tender, very tender, very soft. Skin's very soft. These are California squirrel, so they're way bigger. They're gray squirrel. Up here in Alaska, we have squirrels as well, but we have the small one. They're just regular red squirrels, nothing big, about half the size of these. And to make a dish, this one here is 2 squirrel. It can feed maybe 4 or 5 people easily. If I was using the red squirrel from Alaska, I probably need about 5 or 6 just to make up this one. The meat is delicious. It does have a game taste to it. The squirrel has a very gamey smelling taste, because when you get the squirrel, you end up burning the skin, burning the fur, the hair. You put it over the fire, or you put a propane on it, and you burn the skin until it's all burned out. But squirrel tastes better, in my opinion. My dad, my brother, we all love the squirrel. Tastes better when it has that gaming smell. 3 months ago, my dad was in Georgia, family vacation, and he brought down some squirrels from Georgia, and we cooked it, and it didn't taste as good because it didn't have no game taste. There was no game taste, no game smell. So, no fan of Georgia. The Thai eggplant is optional if you like Thai eggplant. Very delicious. Eat some papaya. This is the rear leg of the squirrel, and you can see the skin. Very delicious. Some of you guys are might be new to this. You guys are probably like, "Ooh, squirrels, that's nasty. That's like eating rodents." But trust me, try it first and then come back and tell me if you like it or not. My father, he loves squirrel, man. He's a big squirrel guy, and he tells me all the time he'll never get tired of eating squirrel. If he eats it every day, he'll never get tired of it. And that is kind of true. Because if you guys have ate wild game before, like caribou, moose, deer, you get tired of that. So, you guys are probably wondering, hey, so new, how does it taste, man? The best way to describe squirrel taste, if you have ate goat before, it kind of tastes like goat. And if you have ate coyote before, it kind of tastes like coyote. Coyote tastes amazing. And I do have a video on my channel where we cook coyotes. This broth is so good. Here's one, the rib cage. Very, very thankful for my dad to bring this squirrel up. It's very hard to eat. It's very hard to like. It's hard to eat. It's hard to find squirrel. You know, it's only once in a while we do get these. The only time we ever get it is when we go downstate and bring it up from the relatives. Like I said, you can't just buy this at the store. And I like that. I like the fact that it's not readily available to the public. If you really want to eat it, you gotta work for it. At the end of the video, I added a few more peppers, and those peppers were different pepper. They're Thai pepper. They're way more spicy. It just needed a little bit more kick. Part of the leg. Delicious. The leg has lots of tendons. This is a very basic dish, guys. You guys can do this with anything. If you guys don't have squirrel, you can replace the squirrel with like birds, grouse, anything like that, and it'll still taste really good. Go ahead and show you the head. This is the head right here. Viewer discretion is advised. If you guys are not comfortable, don't watch this section. Very, very delicious. There's lots of meat on the head, man. You'd be surprised. The cheekbone meat right here. There's lots of the cheekbone meats and stuff. if you're hunting these squirrels, I always recommend using 22 rifle, just so that when you're eating it, if you're eating it and it was shot with a shotgun, sometimes you have to be careful when you bite the meat because you might find the pellets in it. So it's always preferred to shoot it with the 22 rifle. Some hunters, they like to some hunters don't eat the head, so they always try to do it. They always try to do a headshot, so the rest of the body doesn't get ruined. And then some people just shoot it wherever. I didn't check and see where this one was shot at, but there's no BBs in here so far, so I'm assuming they used the 22 rifle for this one. These two. That was the tongue right there. I remember growing up, my dad would always go hunting. We used to live in California, and he would always bring back squirrel, and this is how I like squirrel. It's crazy now because the next generation, like my youngest sister, she don't like squirrel no more. Some of my younger brothers, they don't like squirrel no more. And my nieces and nephew, they don't like squirrel no more because they find it disgusting. So it's a very changing generation. So once we ate all the meat, what you want to do is you want to crack the skull and go for the brains. Just like that. There's the brain. Right there. Has a pretty big size brain actually. We always eat the brains. It's very good. Delicious. That's one head. The other one I'll save for my wife. Atateo, very good. Very good. This is a very special dish, guys. Very special to me and my family because squirrel is very rare. We eat it maybe once a year, twice a year. We're lucky as if we can get squirrel from our relatives down south. My wife, she likes squirrel too, but like I said, she's on the phone call right now, so she can't join us. Very delicious. I think one of the biggest thing about the squirrel that makes it taste good is the game smell. The game smell, the game taste, that's what makes it taste good. Like I said earlier, this is a very special rare dish, so you don't want to waste any meat. You want to eat all the meat as you can, suck through that bone dry, and no waste there, guys, no waste. If someone ever invites you to go eat squirrel, and you're eating on the table with them, you better not waste any of that meat because it's very precious. So if you guys are eating squirrel with me, I'm going to be looking at your plate. You better eat that meat. And if you don't like it, just say, hey, I'm not into it. It's totally fine. In Alaska here, for hunting season, when people go hunt for moose and caribou, I'm always very respectful when someone invites me to come over and eat, or when someone brings me a piece of meat. Because I know how hard it is to go out there and harvest these animals, the time, the money, just the effort and the sweat and blood put into it. So if someone ever gives you game meat, if you're in Alaska or anywhere in general, and someone gives you game meat, they shot a moose, a deer, whatever, and they bring you something, be very, very thankful that they do that, because only a few people would do that. And if they ever invite you to come over and eat, take it. Don't be like, oh, I can't make it, man. No, invitation for dinner for something that's been freshly harvested game meat is a sign of true friendship, true respect, and only a few people will only do that to you. Like when we harvest moose, and like when our family, we harvest, our family, our friends, we harvest moose and stuff. We don't just go around and call everyone over. We don't just call all of our coworkers over. No, we only call a few selected friends, family, close by network, because it takes a lot of work, guys. It's a lot of work and a lot of dedication. If you're a hunter, you know where I'm coming from. Ooh, spicy. I like mine just a little bit spicy and just a little bit bitter. Has a little nice kick to it. What's that word I'm looking for? Aroma. There's this in California. There's this bird that people harvest, and you're only allowed 2 per season or something like that, or 2 per person. And when you eat that bird, I forgot what the bird's called, but when you eat it, it's very bitter, but it tastes very good. And they're super hard to get to because they're kind of wild. They're like super wild. And when I was down in California a couple years ago, one of my relatives, they had some and they cooked it for us, and I was just very thankful that I was able to experience that dish with them. So it's just one of those things that you should be really, really thankful when you have friends or relatives who are willing to share a very delicate dish with you. That's the beauty of food, man. It's just not food, it's also something more than food. All right, this is a delicious meal. My wife, she'll eat later. She's busy at the moment. She usually doesn't eat this early. I once met a native man, Alaska native man, this Alaska native gentleman. I think we were talking about fish, salmon. We're like, hey, how do you cook it, man? How do you eat this? And he told me that if you can bite through it, we eat it. If we can bite through it, we eat it. So basically anything that you can bite through besides the bones. Love it. Super delicious. The eggplant is great. The bamboo is amazing. The bamboo blossom is a must. The Thai eggplant's good as well. Oh man, so delicious. Squirrel is best enjoyed with just rice and squirrels. That's why you're seeing me not eating so much of the papaya. It's just kind of, it doesn't ruin the taste, but you kind of want the taste just to be squirrel. So whenever we're eating squirrel dishes, we might have just rice, squirrel. We might have like another game dish on here, like moose or something. But for the most part, when we're eating it, it's just mostly basic white rice or sticky rice, whichever you prefer, squirrel, and then maybe some kind of fruit like watermelon or something like that. That's like the basic dish. You know, you're not gonna go and have all sorts of type of food here, because squirrel itself is the main course and it's the main highlight of that course, and the flavor shouldn't be messed with other food or other dishes. Oh man, very thankful for this dish, for my father giving me this, and also the relatives that provided this for us. The liquid itself is so tasty. I mentioned earlier that you can make this dish even if you don't have squirrel, using the same stuff, and you can use chicken, whatever. But let me put something in there. The broth will not taste the same as what the broth that you're making won't taste the same as my broth, because the squirrel makes this broth taste in a particular different way. If you were to use chicken, beef, lamb, something else, it's gonna be different. So the broth that I'm tasting, it's good because it has squirrel. The squirrel taste, you cannot replace that with anything else. You need a squirrel. I love the skin here. The skin is just so good. So when you harvest the squirrel, when you first shoot the squirrel, one of the main things you want to do right away is you want to cut the right where the stomach is, right where the stomach towards the end of the rear end, and you want to pull out the guts, the poop and stuff, because you don't want that sitting into the squirrel. It's gonna ruin the meat, spoil the meat. So once you remove the guts, then you can put it in the freezer for whenever you're ready to eat. Very delicious, guys. Super blessed for this dish, and hopefully you guys can enjoy it too one day. The rib right here. I remember way back in grade school when we used to have a science project, we would take like the poop of the owls and spread it apart and take all the bones and put it back together, and you'll find like a rodent at the end of it. That's what the bones right here looks like right now. Hi, baby. Baby, daddy's eating squirrel. I was gonna feed some to my son here, but I don't think he's old enough to handle the game taste, and it's also a little bit spicy. So next time. Wow, that was a delicious dish. I hope you guys enjoyed this dish. I hope you guys enjoy us cooking it. And yeah, let me know if you guys have tried this particular dish, or if you guys have done something different. This is a very basic ingredients, nothing special. Some people even add more stuff onto this dish than what I showed you guys. What I did was just some basic ingredients, nothing crazy. You can get it from most of your typical grocery stores or your Asian market. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. We'll go ahead and wrap it up. And if I have any other special dish in the future, I'll be more than happy to share with you guys. And I'll catch you guys next time. Bye-bye.